What's up, guys? It's Big John here, Smango, over on Twitter at Smango, and today in Tech Talk Insights, we're going to talk about the floppy disk and what I remember of the floppy disk, and just talk about it a little bit, just kind of reminiscing on the old floppy disk. From what I know, the original floppy disk was invented in 1971 by IBM. That's right, IBM. What is it about IBM? And they developed everything back in the day, and now you just don't hear about them. Period. Like, where did they go? They was like, you know, that's what Microsoft wanted to take down, was IBM, and I guess they succeeded because IBM's basically not around anymore. You got Lenovo that kind of bought out IBM, I guess, and I actually like their laptops. But yeah, you had an 8-inch floppy disk developed by IBM, and it's so strange now, here in 2024, how data is now. Like a floppy disk, equivalent to a floppy disk now is a USB drive, still. Which is kind of amazing when you think about it, because I remember getting my first 8 megabyte USB drive and paying, or maybe it was a gig, I don't know. I remember paying a lot for, like, basically nothing for a USB drive. A lot. Just because you had to have it for college. And that's what I remember floppy disk for, was for middle school. I mean, middle school, always having to carry around a 3 1/4 inch floppy. And this made me think about this the other day, because I was trying to buy binders for collecting cards. And by the way, we're going to cover that over on the Smango cards collecting and gaming channel. So go follow that channel if you want to, at the Smango. Here at Tech Holler, we're doing Tech Talk Insights today though, but I was buying binders for cards at Walmart. Bad mistake. Anyway, it made me think of it because the name Trapper Keeper come back up. And I remember having a Trapper Keeper, and that was the coolest thing in the world. About 6th grade, 5th, 6th, and 7th grade. Having a cool Trapper Keeper was like, you had to have it. You had to have it. And they had a little storage compartment for your floppy disk. And you always had to keep a cool floppy disk right there, because you had to save your documents. You had to save your documents. What I did is, I had an older cousin, and he knew a lot more about computers than I did at the time. And I'd put Nesticle and ROMs on there, and I would play like Final Fantasy and stuff at sometimes on the computers. It was crazy, and it worked very well back then too, especially in middle school. I remember playing Super Nintendo, or ZSNES, and Nesticle is what I remember playing on school computers. But I just remember how you could fit games on a floppy disk. Just imagine that. You only had 1.44 megabytes, but you could fit a ton of video, not a ton, but you could fit some good video games on a floppy disk, emulator, the games, the full game. Now back in the day, like 5th and 6th grade, like Super Nintendo was still crazy. It was still popular. And about middle school, I finally got my first computer, and I still played Super Nintendo a lot, man. I remember, like, you know, Final Fantasy and stuff was just it. But I just remember carrying around that floppy disk all the time and learning how to save. And all these kids today, they see a little floppy disk icon in like some of their programs. It's just crazy. And now I got to thinking about my some of my retro collection over here I got from Japan is the Famicom disk system. We never had that in America. And I have all these old floppy disks, and they store like Zelda, Final Fantasy, Super Mario, and it's crazy to think about how crazy the floppy disk and what it done to the tech and gaming industry. But man, it's just old, obsolete technology that doesn't exist no more. Of course, the floppy disk was quickly replaced by the CD-ROM, just because it held so much and it's so cheap to make. The zip drive came out like right before, or didn't come out quick enough as the CD-ROM did. and it was basically a bigger, thicker, faster floppy disk. But the zip drive held like 200 megabytes, which was crazy storage at the time. Crazy storage, 200 megabytes. Oh man, I remember having an 8 gigabyte hard drive and thinking this will last me until the end of time. Like, I will never need any more storage. It's crazy how fast technology has changed. Crazy. I guess really ain't changed that fast because I'm old now, but you know, getting closer and closer to 40 years old, but it's crazy how much technology has changed. Just floppy disk, man, it was something else. It was so cool, and like how the little thing popped back to protect it, and only when you inject it with the shield uncover. The technology is fantastic, and you could write protect. You could even write protect floppy disk. There was a little lock icon you could click on the side of some floppy disk, and you wouldn't be able to copy the data or anything like that. I mean, all you had to do was undo it, though, so it wasn't like the greatest technology in the world, but it kept somebody from doing something if you didn't really want to for a second. If they had physical access, though, they could just do it. I don't know, but it's crazy how that changed. Their CD-ROMs come out, and the music generation just took a whole nother leap. Then DVDs, then HD DVDs. Now we got Blu-ray, holds a ton of storage, like ungodly amounts of storage. But just storage in general is crazy. How much it has changed. How much stuff has changed since an 8-inch floppy disk made by IBM. And IBM doesn't really it's crazy to me that IBM doesn't really like it. Nobody thinks about IBM these days. I mean, I do. I have an IBM Model M at work I use to type on, and it's amazing. But it's just they was top tier, and now, what do you use IBM for? I know they probably still do some servers, I guess. But man, they was on top of the food chain, and they created the floppy disk and storage. It's just crazy to think about. All these CDs, all these flash memory games. It's crazy. But yeah, carrying around a floppy disk in middle school and stuff like that, saving files. It'd save your Word files, learn how to do that. I don't even think kids know how to do that anymore because everything's just saved on Google. Everything's saved on Google Cloud or the G Suite. What do they call it now? They call it the G Suite or G Central. I don't know. They've renamed it every time. They're just as bad as Microsoft at this point, renaming what Microsoft Azure to Intra or some stupid thing like that, even though everything's still mapped out as Azure, because it's just so stupid. I don't understand why they wanted to change. Like, everybody already was like, okay, Azure it is, cool. That's the online Active Directory. Now it's like, it's Microsoft Intra for reasons unknown. Anyway, I'm getting off on a tangent here, man. Do you remember your first floppy disk? I remember going to Walmart picking up just like a pack of floppy disks. You had to have all these games on them or documents. I could go back and forth. I had to save my documents, and I remember the document not working at school too. That really sucked. Man, it's just crazy today how I don't think people realize how good they have it now. Now you save a file, like you have OneDrive, you have Google Drive, or Google Suite, Google Sheets, Google Docs, you got Word Online. And literally right now, especially if you got Office 365 or, you're in a business or a professional environment, you have Office 365 or you got the G Suite, and you're working on a file. And that file, if you save it into the cloud, the internet, if you save it into the cloud or OneDrive, you have just about every version of that ever. Like, you don't lose information now. Like, it sticks around. Imagine having that. Like, I know I've lost files, and it sucks. It sucks so much, losing a file that you'll never get back in. All you have to do is have a login, and it's backed up almost to eternity. There's backups of revisions. of your files. Back in the day, you had to hold on to that floppy disk. You couldn't save it to the computer because it's just not how it really worked back then. You didn't. I'm trying to remember. It's so hard to remember how you used to log in back then. I'm sure there was Windows NT. I don't remember if we ever used it in middle school. I know high school we had logins, so I guess you could technically save it to your desktop, but I know they couldn't have had much storage back then. I remember them having a network drive for students in high school. I don't know, old technology fascinates me, especially when I'm in IT now. And I look back and I'm like, how did they really do that? Because you do stuff so much different now. Like, my IT knowledge starts at Windows 7, basically. And from there on is my professional work. So, you know, Windows Server 2008 plus is what I kind of know, or, you know, Linux and stuff like that, and, you know, Samba shares and stuff like that. I don't know if that really how it worked back then. I'm sure it was, because Active Directory's been around forever, and files and folders. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to do a video on setting up an old school server and network and see how that works. But I don't know. I'm sure it's different because we have the TCP/IP stack now instead of what was it? NetBIOS. I've never set that up ever. Anyway, I'm getting off way on a tangent today, guys. Let me know your first floppy disk. It used to be like a little wand. Imagination. Ooh, imagination. We'll try to clip this right here. Imagination with an imagination floppy disk right there. Maybe. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Did you have a floppy disk? Do you remember floppy disks? How unreliable were they? Man, were they unreliable. But even the bigger floppy disks were more reliable than the 1.44 inch, not 1.44, 3¼ inch floppy disk. It's 5½ was more durable, I think. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Follow me over on Twitter if you want to talk to me there. You can leave a comment in the comment section down below here on this YouTube video. Let me know what you guys think of Tech Talk Insights here on techholler.com. We'll see you guys in the next one.